Hi everyone, this is Roger Rosado. I'm part of the spatial development team and obviously I'm one of the spatial developers. And today we're going to go through how to configure services on the map manager. This is a part 5 series. Here are some prerequisites that I recommend. First of all, hopefully you went through at least part 1 of map manager. And one of the things that would be very helpful if you have some knowledge in Maximo and spatial. I added some definitions here and links for you so it'd be easy for you to go and read about uh, the documentation of spatial and its configuration. And again, I also put in a training site for ArcGIS. Now, what we're going to be discussing today is the services that are configurable in Map Manager. One of them is geometry service, and it helps applications do geometric calculations. And I'll show you an example one, even though map, the specific sample does do the calculation without it, it'll bring up a message saying it would perform better if there was one linked in there. And this, again, this will be utilized more in future releases of spatial. Geocode services is basically helping you find addresses on a map. Currently, there's 2 locations this is done, and I'll explain that to you, what one's one for and what the other one is. Print export services, obviously, is to print what you see on the map. There's 2 additional external services, maps-wise, and it's we do Bing and OpenStreetMaps. And the most important thing about these base maps is that if you're going to create a map based on these maps, uh, that you should be using a spatial reference WGS 1984. So it's important to know that. So if you start adding service layers, they must, at least a projection must at least be that. Now, this is going to be a live demo, so about how to configure services. Oops, let's go back and let's do Maximo. All right. All right, here's the start center. Let's move to Map Manager. Quickly go in here, and services. This is what we'll be talking about, this tab here. And also, we'll be touching base on this services, geocode service URL on the main tab. This was added in by the scheduler team, and we'll discuss about that in a bit. But in services, these are also where you can add geocode services. You can add more than one, and these are displayed and used on the map itself. Geometry services, this is where you add the URL. Print export services is where you add the URL. Already see to have one there. Let me erase that for now. And then these are the external services here. Bing Maps, which you need a key for to use, and OpenStreetMap. First thing we're going to go is demonstrate is the geometry service. Like I mentioned before, this will become more critical in future releases of spatial when we add more tool capabilities. So let's go to assets. Go to maps. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate when it would be nice to have the geometry service available. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a query on object IDs. hydrant at least. And say it's not null. And I'm going to draw uh, some geometries over certain areas so we can execute the query of where I want it to query in. So now that I set two up, right on top of here, if you looked at the very top, when I press find, a message will pop out and says it would be nice to use the geometry service because performance would improve, in case there was a lot of information in here. So when I press run, you'll see it up here. Configure geometry map manager for better query performance. So he realizes that it would do it better if there was one, but he calculated anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. Let me clear this table out and clear this out. Close this. Go back to Map Manager. Services. And I am going to add a geometry service that everyone can use. It's a public link for now. It's always suggested you have your own, because you can control the reliability of the link. All right, I put one in here, geometry services. This is the only one that have information in the URL. So save. Go back to Map Manager. Oops, sorry, Asset. And basically what I'm just going to demonstrate is the message no longer appears, meaning that it's actually using the geometry services to do the calculations. Let's do a query again. And create the draw area around this hydrant. Draw an area around the other hydrant. So now when I actually execute this query, the message will not pop up here indicating that I'm actually using the geometry service URL to help get the information from these two geometries. Boom. As you can see, it came up pretty quickly and no additional message came up. So that's it. That's how you configure that. That's all we're going to say about geometry services. Let's clear this out. All right. The next few services is going to be about the formatted address here. This is where the geocode is set in the main tab. This is what this one's for. And again, this was added in by the scheduler, and we use it also. The other geocode is this guy here, this image. When you click here, it's going to give you an error because we haven't configured anything. But once we do configure, you'll see the new pop-up. And again, for the other service that we use is called print and export service. Again, we have not said anything, so you get an error message saying so. So the next one we're going to talk about is the print export service configuration. So I already gave you a link and information that you have to be aware of about the print and export for performance issues. So just be careful about that. You could be educated on that. Let's go back to services. Print export services. I'm going to use the one I'm using on my local machine. Copy. Okay, let's go to assets again. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to sketch a few things on here. And maybe something like this, just to demonstrate. So now when I do print this, when I click on this print export, a box comes up and you can fill out what you need on it. The formats is defaulted to PDF, but there are other ones here. And that's basically it. And then when you press print, at least for the PDF part, it returns back a PDF document with what we've done on it. That's it. That is all it does. So now we've done that one. The next one, let's clear out of this one. Next one will be geocode. Now what we're going to do, this geocode that's configured on the main tab, which I'll show you again in case you don't recall. This map manager, this is the geometry code service we're talking about. That part of the usability of this URL is when you use a service address object. So in other words, the maximum must be a service address object in order this to be enabled on the map. For example, when I go to assets, you will see that it's grayed out. Can't fill it. See, it's grayed out. Can't feel it. You can't find anything. When you try right click, there's no action available for it. So when we go to the service address, let's bring up, I created one earlier. And you can see the address is over there. The only thing that's on the service address is just the address code, you don't have to get rid of that. Just the address code and the formatted address. That's all you see. And of course, the organization is defaulted. So when I go to the map, now you will see that this is no longer grayed out. You can actually fill what you want here or take it from where it was um, entered in the service address object. And then the next thing you have to be aware of is in order to do an accurate search and for it to work, the address must be in the view of this map. So if, for example, if you're too far zoomed in and the address you're searching is outside, it will not find it. You will have to zoom out enough so you can find the format address. So all you do is you put that in, you press find location. Oops. There's a little issue with multiple candidates right now. It's being worked at right this minute. So, but to demonstrate this, I just want to make sure I get that. It's cool. Let's find it again. All right, it's giving me a hard time. Sorry about that. Page. Like I said, they're working on that part. But I just want to show you that it does work here. All right, so I guess I can't make it work till they fix that bug. But the point is, it'll find the point here. Maybe if I zoom in a little better. What you've seen there is that you'll get multiple choices and you select the one you want and it would find it. But like I said, there's a small bug on it at this present time. So they'll be working on it soon on that. Trying to just to cheat a little bit here so you can see it. I guess not. But I guess you get the gist of it. The point is it'll find the point and if I zoom in a little bit more, cheat. There it goes. See, it finds it. So it will move into it, center it, and find it. And again, just be careful that the that the geocode should have an extend capabilities so it can locate and center the what it finds and also put in a marker on it. So that's what this one does, formatted address. Now for the other geocoder, one of the things right now I have not configured it yet. One of the things about this geocoder is that you must make sure that it's able to do the conversions to the spatial reference on your map. Otherwise, it won't work. It won't find anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and back to Map Manager. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention here is that once it does locate, when you go back to the add service address, it will fill in the Latin longitude values here for you. Before it was not there. We just put the formatted address. But once you pick the one that you wanted after list and it finds the one, it will put in the X and Y points that it was founded on. So that's good to know. Let me remove these because I don't want it here. Just in case I have to demo again. Save. All right, now we're going to talk about the other geocodes here. Map Manager. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one called geocode test 1. Geocode 1. I just put geocode 1. Tab. Okay, and we put maximum spatial. Save. Yep, that's fine. Site. St. McLean. Okay. And let's go to services. We are gonna add a few services. Give me a second so I can add them all in here just for just this demonstration only. Copy. Nice. And new row. Paste. All right, that's good enough. We save it. Now, I'm also going to use another external services. I'm going to use an OpenStreetMap, so you get to see that. So it's easy enough, right? You use one or the other to activate. I mean, you could use both, but it doesn't make sense. You probably could put in and out the layers if you want, but I'm just going to use one, OpenStreetMaps. And again, if you want to use the Bing Maps, you got to make sure you put the key in that you get from Microsoft. So we got that. We got the geocode services here. Let's save it. And go and then activate it. Save. Okay, it gave me an error because it says this map is already active for this site. So what we have to do is I have to go back here. Don't save it. No. This error will just pop up. Let's refresh this. And I believe the last time we were working on was web maps and we had McLean. Okay, so I'm going to disable that, save it, come back, open the geocode again. Here. And I'm going to enable that, save. Just want to make sure that I have the services set. I didn't. Yep, okay. Everything's good to go. And then go back to service address. Oops, sorry. I'm still under Bedford. I need to change my default information to McLean. Okay. Let me log out, log back in. Connect to service address. Okay, dokie. Now, as you can see, we're back here again on service address, clicking maps. Now you can see that map. This is the OpenStreetMap. So then if we go, and I'm not going to do that because we already know about this. So if we go geocode here, world, and do say 10118 New York, and then addresses, do this one here as well. Actually, I'll do something different. I'll do B Street, and then 10591 here. Now I search for it. It gives me a few back. I click on it, and boom, it goes right to it. So that's my geocode. So, and it gives you a little marking of where it's at. That simple, that easy. The only thing you got to remember, again, you got to make sure that the geocode that you're using can be converted to the spatial reference that the map is using, which we do here. And also that in order for the address to be located, it should be in the view of this map, and hopefully that the geocode does exports extended values so you can center and create a marker for you. So I believe that's it. I think we went through all the different services configuration. Let's go back to Map Manager. Doesn't matter which one, just want to look through the services. Okay, we talked about the geocode services, the geometry service, we did a print example, and we did an external services. So, okay, yes, we're done. So let's go back to my PowerPoint here and basically just say that we're done. All right, thanks guys. This is it for this session, and hopefully you got something out of it. And I'll see you on the next final part, I believe, part 6. Talk to you later. Bye.